Hello, fellow lovers of Japanese animation. The stories of people being obsessed with superheroes and reincarnating as one have become pretty common, but have you ever come across a person who is obsessed with vending machines? So much so that he decided to sacrifice his life trying to save one falling vending machine. His sacrifice and love for vending machines did not go to waste, as when he opened his eyes, he found himself near a pond not as a human but as a vending machine with consciousness. Instead of being sad, this person panicked for only a moment and then moved on to observe all the features he had in himself. It was a vending machine that recharged and refilled on the points earned when receiving coins. He even had the power to change the food in it, or its form, from a cold drink vending machine to a hot ramen serving machine. The machine had plenty of points to survive a month at the moment, but the only problem was whether he'll be left stranded in his place for a month or be rescued and used by someone. This thought is interrupted when a frog jumps out of the pond and observes the machine weirdly. He then brings out a log of wood and starts hitting the machine. The machine is shocked and hurt, but what scares it more is that with every hit, his damage points keep decreasing, and once lost, he will be permanently damaged. In other words, D-Ed. More frogs appear out of the pond and start hitting him. In a panic, he surfs through his options to look for some way he could save himself. Finally, he finds a safety boundary that uses his points but builds a shield around him, not letting anyone enter it. The frogs keep attacking the shield until they get tired and leave. The machine sleeps at night with the shield around. The next day, he gets worried about only having points worth 10 days left inside due to the commotion of the day before. Suddenly, a girl, Lamis, appears out of the bushes, panting and whining about not being good enough for the job of a hunter, as she barely survived this time. She then thinks of how hungry she is before noticing a weird box near her. She walks towards the box and wonders what it is. Turns out the world he reincarnated in does not have vending machines. The vending machine says out loud the few words it can say. Lamis reluctantly inserts a silver coin, which is very expensive, and gets a cold drink. She is delighted with the taste and enjoys a lot of food from it, recharging it. Weirdly enough, she figures it is a machine with consciousness, even though it only spoke a few basic vending machine terms. Technology seems to be disinterested in this world. She then spends a night there and communicates with the machine by taking its hello there as a yes and too bad as a no. The machine is then taken to the dungeon by her, where everyone gets obsessed with it after getting a taste of its food, and the machine gains popularity as the machine that speaks for itself. The vending machine is lucky that Lamis treats him like a human without knowing it has the soul of one. She even gave him the name Boxxo due to, well, him being a box. The next day, the machine panics at the presence of a well-dressed bear in front of him. He is freaked out by the constant stare. Even though the bear seems decent enough to not be violent, Lamis comes out in the morning and greets Boxxo and the director of the Hunter Association. He shares that there has been a base of the frog fiends in the forest that needs to be attacked, and they need the help of Lamis and Boxxo to provide food for the hunters going out. The duo agrees to help. Lamis is strong enough to carry Boxxo around without getting tired. The hunters discuss the possibility of a lot of adult frogs attacking them, as it is their breeding season of theirs. They are all excited to hunt a lot, as it will earn them money, while Boxxo seems to be a little worried, as he might have a little bit of trauma with his first meet with the frogs. As everyone camps, the captain of the team acts all macho in front of Lamis that she needs not to be scared of the frog attack. Unaware that she is not scared, he then decides to try out the famous Boxxo and chooses lemon tea to have. Lamis and Captain are initially amused by the intricate design of the can, then about the fact that the trash disappears, and finally about the out-of-the-world taste, quite literally, of the tea. It is like magic that Boxxo never needs a refill and never gets short of supplies. The magician hunter is called Who Verifies There Is No Magic Aura, Just a Tin of Iron Here. Well, that's true. Later, when they attack the base, just like expected, much more than the expected number of frogs appear, and at some point, it gets hard to attack them, but Boxxo's safety shield comes to help a little. Later, Mr. Bear discusses the possibility of a king frog being there. The generous Boxxo offers free drinks to the injured. At night, Lamis leaves after bantering with a box, as if it's her lover. A shady guy tries to break into Boxxo, but turns out the guy's brain works slower than that of an iron box. Boxxo fools him and burns his hand. Lamis appears before greater damage could occur. The team is suddenly attacked by the king, Frog Fiend. Lamis frees the animals and tries to move the cart, but it's slower. Boxxo, wanting to help his only friend, works his brain and comes up with the best explosion plan, Mentos and Coke. He serves out free Coke and then change to a candy machine and then repeats insert coins to hint at what he wants. In attempts of bullying the thief, the hunters understand and attack the frog. The captain and director appear with the armed hunters and defeat the frog easily after. Boxxo is satisfied as he sees Mr. Bear and Lamis in a bowing competition while expressing gratitude to each other. The travel back to the dungeon is safe and peaceful, but as they reach there, everyone is appalled to see their town in ruins. Lamis worries about the two women she lives with, but Boxxo tries to calm her by joining words that he can speak. Honestly, Lamis could be fluent in understanding baby languages as she can comprehend absolute nonsense from Boxxo into his actual meaning. Lamis rushes to the inn and finds it destroyed as well, but Box once again calms her with his gibberish into looking around. The two women are finally found safe and sound. The village was attacked by a two-headed snake. Seeing everyone worry, Fairy Boxxo decided to serve free food for the night to everyone. A drunk Lamis hugs Boxxo in happiness for him, becoming an important part of this place. Crazy nice woman right there. The next day, naive Lamis happily shares getting a personal request from the director about rubble removal. Boxxo sighs at her innocence. The captain of the hunting team offers her to join them, but she refuses since the village needs rebuilding. Since Boxxo is so loved, the village gets short of silver coins. Unfortunately, Boxxo cannot help them, but Lamis uses her brain to ask them to insert gold coins and get silver as a change. Boxxo becomes rich with gold coins this way. Mr. Bear calls the two for a meeting and asks Lamis to let him have a personal talk with Boxxo. What could the talk be? Yes, Mr. Bear needs Boxxo to help them control the population. So Boxxo sells a bunch of condoms before leaving the Hunter Association. Who would have expected a box promoting family planning and hygiene? Suri is a little girl from an influential family who does not know if she wants Boxxo to herself or if she wants to kill him. What man will complain about being reincarnated as a box if he gets to be in the women's bathhouse supplying them with their necessities? Boxxo has installed in itself a lottery option that can buy them free drinks. An old man who is innocent enough to try to win a water bottle at least once keeps trying. He brings his granddaughter, who luckily wins and chooses a water bottle to give to his grandpa. The little girl is happy that she got to see her grandparents after so long, and the feeling is reciprocated equally. So was it luck that she won or St. Boxxo's doing? We would never know. Mr. Bear asks Boxxo to use his ability to camouflage to find the offender in an area where crimes are occurring. Ironically enough, that is the exact place where Lamis and Sorai get into an argument about Suori wanting Boxxo. She then asks how he functions. Lamis does not know the answer, but the way he converses with her, she considers him the same as a human from the inside. What an overwhelming moment for the vending machine. After Sui leaves, Boxxo reveals himself, surprising Lamis, who then proceeds to rant about her day to him. Well, no matter what the circumstances, a box can be smart only up to a certain limit. Boxxo was told by some people that Mr. Bear ordered to move him where he needs to establish a new shop, and he agreed upon hearing the director's name. This was realized by Boxxo after 8 hours of traveling. The guys suddenly stopped and tried to get him to give him money, which he refused. Not like he has the power to comply anyways. The goons try to damage Boxxo into giving in when he gets the feature of using 1,000 points to increase his durability. Later, Boxxo is taken to a shed and placed in a room where the goons order a girl to figure this machine out and get money from it for them. The girl introduces herself as Halami. Since Boxxo heard Lamis worry about Hulmi being missing, he figures she is not a danger and he can't talk to her. Hulmi was abducted by these goons to figure Boxxo out. Well, the reason why they choose Hulmi becomes pretty clear when it takes her only a few hours to figure out that there is a human soul inside of this machine, and it uses the money to perform various tasks that allow it to function. Boxxo and Hulmi bond pretty well in the abduction as she slowly figures out a lot of cool stuff about Boxxo, and Boxxo provides her with the necessities she needs in there. The goons try to bully Hulmi while she is asleep, but Boxxo uses his understanding of men and produces some explicit magazines for them to go enjoy in their rooms. Later, Hulmi is given 2 days to figure Boxxo out, but she refuses to share anything and tells Boxxo they just need a chance instead of trying to escape rashly. The day their deadline ends, the shed is attacked by none other than Lamis and the hunting team, Menagerie of Fools, Boxxo accompanied. The attacks, however, become dangerous, as the room above Boxxo and Halloumi has a ton of money and some explosives. The blows to the shed make the explosive burst the room, and thanks to the safety shield, the two survive. The only problem was, the moment the shield disappears, the rubble would collapse on them. Luckily, a bag of gold coins fell on the shield, so he absorbs it, and Halloumi uses them all to increase his points to maintain the wall. Stealing from the thieves, Robin Hood, moment for Halloumi and Boxxo. He turns to a ventilator machine to provide Halloumi oxygen. Lamis finally finds them and stick to Boxxo, not wanting to leave him alone again. Her emotions make her forget that the Halloumi she was so worried about is also around her. The captain of the fools helped them to get Lamis and Boxxo into supporting a certain wish they have. Little Lamis and Halloumi are seen playing around the lake where Lamis uses her strength to punch the water and catch the wishes that jump out due to the impact. Lamis suddenly sees the vending machine and mentions treasuring it. Back to reality, Lamis dozes off resting on Boxxo while Halloumi shares she won't even sleep in fear of losing Boxxo. Halloumi mentions it must be to not repeat past events. As the two were little, their village was attacked by monsters and wiped out, leaving only the two of them as survivors. Lamis had her strength but could not do anything to help, which left her with a lot of guilt. Boxxo feels sad for Lamis carrying this much sadness. The next day, Halloumi decides to spend some time in the village. After Lamis leaves to help reconstruct, Suori visits requesting Halloumi, who is a magic engineer, to accompany them into the event where magic engineers of different families share their new items. One of her arch nemesis drives her mad, so she needs Boxxo to be introduced as their magic item. Boxxo and Halloumi agree. The event is pretty lame until the magic engineer of the rival girl reveals a robot that follows all the commands given to her. Halloumi knows that this is only possible by trapping souls inside machines and fears something bad happening. Her fear comes true when the robot turns to the engineer to attack it to awaken her from her slumber. Halloumi was right that he trapped a soul inside the robot. She jumps on it and frees the soul from the trap. She calls out the engineer, who tries to defend himself. Everyone else starts mocking Halloumi over her past mistakes, as if they can get through her skin. All the restaurant owners gather in a meeting to fight against some chain restaurants that has been taking over customers of other restaurants in whichever city they go to. They ask Boxxo to help in return for giving relief to Lamis. Everyone goes to try their food, and then they try to come up with new recipes to make theirs better. Lamis and Halloumi point out the lackings of taste as compared to Boxxo's food, and then Boxxo serves them different foods like pasta, takoyaki, ice creams, and donuts so they can eat and prepare such food. This improvement knocks the chain's restaurant out of business, so they close down. The captain of Menagerie of Fools offers Lamis and Boxxo to work with them. Boxxo agrees as they helped save him. Lamis is still not sure, but Halloumi and Boxxo try to convince her that she is strong enough to not mess up. Seeing her so sad, Boxxo changes its form and delivers a flower for Lamis, a pink carnation that means gratitude. Boxxo, being the sweet vending machine he is, takes notice of a girl taking a liking to the guards of the dungeon. He helps her cook good food for her to impress him. Later, Lamis announces they will be going on a hunt for crocodiles which are more dangerous than the frog fiends they fought. On the day of travel, the two are surprised to see Halloumi accompanying them on Mr. Bear's commands. Boxxo is a great help to everyone, not just in terms of food. He even provided them with a portable toilet for the girls. As everyone travels, Mr. Captain chills on the roof of the cart, and when some frog fiends attack them, they are easily defeated by all the hunters. Except for Lamis, who has a hard time controlling her strength to aim right when throwing things to attack. R.I.P. the poor Coke bottle that disappeared into space upon her throw. After two of the hunters look up the situation, they find out the crocodiles are smaller in size than usual, probably because the frog fiends they feed on were hunted down. Captain tries to retreat as they were only supposed to look up the situation, but the magician hunter, Vice Captain, gives him a good earful that the crocodiles will hunt for humans if not finding frogs. Halloumi warns them to not attack at night, as crocodiles are more violent at night. Lamis and Boxxo's inner voices share a jinx moment when they have the same response. The iron box blushes at this jinx as if a cute moment between lovers. Halloumi wants to help, so Boxxo comes up with an idea of producing a good amount of ice into the lake that will cause the crocodiles to come out. He then fogged up the lake with the help of Halloumi's magic so the hunters could attack. When alone, Halloumi reveals Mr. Bear sent her to investigate if there has been a revival of their lord, as things have been weirdly awry lately. Defeating the Lord produces a very valuable treasure. They are disturbed as the hunters return, carrying an unconscious Lamis with an 8-legged crocodile, the Lord chasing them. They pick Holomie to escape as Boxxo produces a shield around him. He starts speaking to take the Lord's focus away from the cart. Boxxo produces some chicken nuggets to distract it, but the Lord eats him up. Inside the stomach, Boxxo keeps losing his points, so comes up with things that would cause acidity, gas, and burning inside the crocodile. This causes it to burst into pieces, so when Boxxo opens his eyes, he finds himself in the bony remains of the Lord. A weird coin falls on it. He assumes it's the treasure for defeating the Lord. Suddenly, the ground splits, which he assumes is the stratum split, and Boxxo falls inside, along with the bones. Boxxo panics and shouts for help, but of course, the shouts are only his soul shouting, not his real voice. As he falls endlessly, all he sees is the face of a crying Lamis. To not get damaged by a fast hit, Boxxo turns into a balloon vending machine and uses his points to quickly inflate a good number of balloons in his shield. He then turned into a cardboard vending machine to become lighter, hence falling slowly. He descends into a labyrinth that Holomie told lies beneath their stratum. As he falls, so does the coin he received from defeating the Lord, which he can't pick up. Boxes don't have hands after all. He notices he gained 1,000,000 points from the win. What a proud feel for a vending machine enthusiast soul. He uses them to upgrade itself and turn into a vacuum to suck up the coin. Ironically, all this works only for the coin to have no special use inside the vending machine. He transforms into his original form and rests as if there is no living thing around where he fell. He uses the solar panel option to bask in the sun and chill out alone without using charging points. Hard to tell if the box is lost or on vacation. Suddenly, 4 bearcats are running while trying to flee some monsters. Seeing one of them injured, he camouflages and attacks the monsters after the cats pass him. Boxxo's heart feels full upon helping the adorable bearcats. He reveals himself and offers some meat, which they eat as food is a weakness of this species. Reluctantly, all of them eat a bunch of food after understanding they need to insert money for it. They are a group called Voracious Devils who came here to hunt and get rich faster. The bearcats feel like Boxxo is understanding them, but his consistency in repeating the same words makes the idiots call it just a machine repeating itself. Poor! Boxxo is frustrated upon failing multiple times in trying to make them understand it. They try to go back with him after he gets wheels on him, but are attacked again. Boxxo once again saves them from the Flame Skeletitan, the Stratum Lord, who leaves after eating the monsters chasing them. After helping them fight back numerous times, they start their journey again. With their exceptional hearing, the Voracious Devils hear some commotion. They talk about hearing Mr. Bear and a girl screaming the word Boxxo and defeating monsters barehand. She is also heard saying she will nail him with a solid hit. This scares the previously delighted Boxxo, as even the hugs of Lamis cause him damage. Her hate is worth causing a living thing to shake in fear. Well, for magic vending machines, they can just have their souls shake in fear. The bearcats drag him to meet Mr. Bear. Lamis tears up upon seeing him and throws herself at him. A hug that was worth 120 damage points for him. Everyone rushed to save Boxxo, as Lamis would have eaten the captain alive for abandoning Boxxo. Mr. Bear introduces Boxxo to the Voracious Devils, who are shocked and embarrassed to know Boxxo understood them this whole time. Bock about being dumb little beings, Boxxo with his limited vocabulary seems to be utterly amused.